Tip-off, it'll be Matthew Martin against Victor Moses, and we're just about to get away. And remember, the Eagles leading by 5 points, and it's Moses that wins the tip. He gives it to Fletcher, Fletcher gives it back to Moses, and almost the 1-2.
Williams will find a way to get it off, but he didn't like the look of it at all against Victor.
Great steal there by Chris Alexander from Jeremy Smith. Sharks off and running, ball out to Williams for 3. Dirk Williams knocks down the first 3 of the game, and that cuts the aggregate to 2 points over. This is that one,
he might have missed the shot, but I like the cut. That's a place to hurt the Sharks.
And there's Mackie McKnight with a 3-point shot as well, and suddenly it's a 6-0 lead. Rob Marsden comes out to set the pick. Mackie McKnight thought about the 3, goes inside, back out to Dirk Williams, who's got it. I think Ramon Fletcher got a little piece of that and stopped that 3-point shot. Victor Moses to Jeremy Smith. Jeremy Smith up and under for the other end, tried to go coast to coast and was bundled off the ball. Ball went dead. Referee decision was Eagles ball at the end line. There's Jeremy Smith again getting free under the...
Terrific defensive job he did there on Marsden.
And he was able to find Ramon Fletcher, was able to come away with the rebound. Kai Williams for 3. 7-6. 7-point run from the Eagles to reply to Sheffield's 6 points originally. 6:45 to go. Here's Alexander turning the corner using Marsden as a screen, up for 2, and in
it had been a long 2.
So looks like it was a long 2, yes, Dave. I think you're right. And if that one goes, that's another long 2.
Catches and shoots like that, he's got a good percentage.
And he's made that two very long 2s. Oh, that's a nice pass from Rob Marsden. Finds Mackie Mackay. The ball in to Mackie Mackay. Oh, sorry, McKnight. Marsden back to Alexander. Ron Fletcher possibly got away with a little bit of a push there as well, but Alexander going all the way around the houses to get to the basket and lays it in for 2. Sheffield up pro, but Darius DeVoe, if ever that was a rusty shot, Dave, that was one.
His body might be in shape, but his shot wasn't.
Matthew Martin thought about the 3, but drives to the basket and lays it in for 2. That's an excellent bit of play by Matthew Martin, highlighting the fact of what Dave said. Still no Mike Tuck for Sheffield. Lasker finds Kai Williams in the corner, inside to Darius DeVoe, faced by Matthew Martin. Darius DeVoe bounces off him, and this time he shot.
Not sure what Brasino was thinking of there, because Darius DeVoe had established a really good, strong position on him. Just back to the guy with the ball, or he's just passed off. Matthew Martin. One thing I'm surprised about is that he's only shooting 20% from the 3-point line, because when he was in the lower division, he was absolutely famed and fearless on his 3-point shot.
Well, he is shooting. Overall, he's shooting 57.3%. He's just knocked down a really nice 2 there to put Sheffield up by 7. He has Fletcher going for a 3. Fletcher drains that 3 over Alexander. Tested rebound, brings the ball over the halfway line. Ramon Fletcher almost stole it off Chris Alexander, but he didn't quite make it, and Alexander's got the ball back out to Brashina. Brashina doesn't mind shooting the 3, but Darius DeVoe got out to him very well and very quickly. He has McKnight, he'll go inside, puts the ball up for Tuck. Nice pass from McKnight, and Tuck puts it home for 2 points. And Sheffield lead 21-13. Lasker almost gave the ball away there. As Kyle Williams turns the corner, gives it back to Furnoy. Furnoy drives towards the basket, back out to Kyle Williams in the corner for 3. Doesn't make it, but a good offensive rebound taken by Darius DeVoe. By 16-23, so Sheffield up by 7 and up by 2 on aggregate. Yes, Dirk Williams turns the corner. Oh wow, what a play, what a play. Dirk Williams cut inside and absolutely smashed it home two-handed. A real high-flying play dunk, and that puts it 25-16. Eagles will probably hold for the last shot, more or less, here. Kyle Williams manages to get in, didn't hold for the last shot. Kyle Williams took an earlier shot, did make it though, so 25-18, 10 seconds left, and Dirk Williams with the ball. I'm just wondering if they're going to set up a play here for Dirk Williams. It certainly looks like it, but nope, it goes out to Sadal Hanson-Young, who could come on. End of 1, it's Sheffield up 25-18, so that means on aggregate they lead by 2 here at the Eagles. And it's going to say that's a possible shock. Obviously this one as well could be a shock on the cards, because Sheffield are up on aggregate even if it's only by 2, and they're on offense, and Rob Marsden going against Darius DeVoe. Darius DeVoe, great defense, knocks the ball free. Ramon Fletcher at the other end. Stop and pop for... There's Matthew Martin coming inside. Ball given by Martin. Nice pass there from Matthew Martin. Great cut from Dirk Williams. Lays it in for 2. Sheffield halfway line for the Eagles.
The other option that the Eagles haven't chosen to do was
I thought it was going to be a great pass, but it looked like it was a great cut from Kyle Williams, but Fletcher saw him coming, but also so did Dirk Williams, and he picked the ball up. Lovely steal, clean as you like. He has Brashina for 3, and he knocks that one down. Sheffield back in front. Nice little pass inside to Flanoy. Hand off back from Flanoy to Fletcher. He gives it to Defoe. Defoe couldn't take it cleanly. Ball's moved around by the Eagles, and Kyle Williams for 3. Listen to Andrew Bridge on commentary last night, and he says that the Sheffield players really like playing with McKnight. They're really comfortable with him, and he's the 3rd point guard they've had this year. Alexander for 3. Knocks it down. Big shot from Chris Alexander, but he is a big shot player. Usual situation. I mean, I know we're very much used to it here in the BBL, but a lot of these players, unless you played in the league, great drive by Chris Alexander, right-handed lane, beautiful. The gap just was there, and he went for it. If it's the first season, probably find it a little bit strange.
It's interesting that Chris Alexander's really stepping up at the minute, because Fab is doing everything he can to deny Dirk Williams the ball, which obviously creates a little bit more space.
Jeremy Smith it was who picked up the rebound, and he's now got the ball at the other end. Flanoy to Jamal Williams. Nice drive inside by Jamal Williams, but he kicks it back out to Flanoy. Fans imploring Flanoy to shoot, but
fake the whole building out.
There's McKnight at the other end, gets the tip. 2 tips to Sheffield, doesn't make it. Flanoy it is who takes the rebound. He gives it to Moses. Moses powers into the basket and makes the one, and that'll be it. On aggregate. 4:40 to go as McKnight crosses the halfway line. Set up another play. Matthew Martin. Dirk Williams into Mike Tuck. Tuck finds Chris Alexander, who got free from Jeremy Smith and laid it in for 2. Osden finds Dirk Williams. He's faced by Kai Williams. Then Jamal Williams. I don't put Kyle Williams out, and they're not going to have the whole lot, but that's Dirk Williams. That's a lovely little touch off the glass.
Tough move, wasn't it?
Tough move, but a lovely soft shot off the glass. Sheffield up 39-35. 3:10 to go in the first half. Fletcher who's had a little bit of a break, now back on court. Jeremy Smith looks to cut. Oh, Fletcher goes, it's like the parting of the Red Sea. How on earth he got through there? But he picked his way through and lays it in for 2. Sheffield's lead cut to 2, but he has Dirk Williams for 3, and that one somehow found its way into the net. And I think with Ramon Fletcher, long pass to Jeremy Smith. Jeremy Smith faced by Chris Alexander, tries to turn, kicks it back out to Jamal Williams, thought about the 3, then fakes inside. Jeremy Smith, very quick feet, very quick feet, gets back, brings it back forward for Sheffield. Here's Martin to Williams, marked by Jamal Williams, but double teamed by the Williams brothers. Rob Marsden gives it to McKnight. McKnight back to Marsden from the free throw line, knocks down a good 2. I often wonder whether Rob Marsden is one of the most underrated players in the league, Dave.
Well, what he's done is he's smart right there, because he had a good 2-man game with, was it Mackay?
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that time he didn't take the ball, then he just stepped away and got himself a free look at the basket.
And there's Fletcher trying to find Moses, and McKnight steals the ball superbly well. And there's a lane ball for great fast break by Sheffield. McKnight, 16 points, not 7. So I don't know where that came from. Here's Fletcher for 2 from the court, from the elbow. He doesn't make it. Once again, McKnight. He finds Chris. He took the rebound, forced the ball forward, got it to Chris Alexander. And Chris, I've got to be really pleased with the way they've played in the first half. Here's Alexander going against Fletcher. Good hands by Fletcher. Dirk Williams from the corner, and almost an impossible 3-point shot from the corner, and I think it's going to be given, and that means it's 52-39 on the night to Sheffield, which puts them up 13 points, and it gives them an 8-point lead on aggregate, and that's a fantastic finish to the half from Sheffield. Sheffield working the ball around.
Running a lot of screens, aren't they, away from the ball, which has really worked that time.
Dirk Williams for 2.
Another role, he seemed to be denying the inbound pass to Fletcher, and at the same time he's setting a lot of screens for his teammates.
Great drive from Jeremy Smith there, very determined, very strong. Gets up in the air and lays it in with his left hand, but at the other end he's beaten by McKnight quite easily, and he
sometimes drawn to who's scoring all the points, but McKnight looks like a player who means real business tonight.
Kai Williams for the corner for three. Ticking down all the time. Here's Ross Marsden, turns the corner against Jamal Williams. Goes strong to the basket. Marsden gives him it back. Wants to give it back inside to Marsden. Only 6 seconds left on the shot clock for Sheffield. But Rob Marsden turns round. Turns 6:54 to go. Just waiting for the board to update for all these fouls. But here's Chris Alexander. He finds Dirk Williams, who's in acres of space, but doesn't make the three. But that man McKnight takes yet another rebound. And then from the elbow, almost puts it Sheffield. And the Eagles looking a little bit dishevelled at the moment, Dave.
They are. And one of the reasons is Sheffield are causing a lot of problems.
Yes, Fletcher, who's just slipped. He's going to drive all the way to the basket. And there's his left-handed layup. Turns to look at the referees to say, I'm not going to get a call. That Dirk Williams has been wide open. He's missed them both. Eagles have dodged a couple of bullets there. Great pass from Ramon Fletcher to Victor Moses. That's one of the things that the Eagles need to get going. Fletcher to Moses.
These next two substitutions don't surprise me at all, Jeff. Darius Defoe, I think, is definitely needed, and Lasker, obviously, with his experience.
Rebound. Here's McKnight working his magic, and here's Martin for three, and Martin drops that. Victor Moses mixing the three from the corner, and it's Sheffield on the offensive. Again, less than 15 minutes to go in this tie, and Sheffield absolutely tearing Newcastle all on. Fletcher's the only one that survived the cull from the timeout, and Sheffield going with the same five completely. Yes, Kyle Williams trying to drive to the basket, makes the point, makes the basket. I think the foul's on Matthew Martin, so Kyle Williams makes the two, but he can't make it. Darius Defoe takes the rebound. Eagles back and looking for something from Fletcher. Fletcher's the inspirational man. He's the one that need to do something. Gets his way to the basket there and lays it in for two. I really believe that it's Fletcher that needs to step up. And Brent McKnight, calm as you like. We can take as much time as we need to. We're going to try and get a good shot. Here's Dirk Williams into Marsden, into Alexander. 73-54. Nice pass by Kyle Williams to Flanoy, cutting to the basket. Bob Flanoy makes his 2-point shot.
But if there's a hope, then
so believe it or not, actually puts his 97% percentage up. Here's Flanoy bringing the ball forward. Drew Lasker drives in, finds Darius Defoe. That was a nice play, but air ball off the back.
Earth was he thinking of then?
That was a very poor shot. Here's Kyle Williams. And it's those type of players that just get the crowd going. Fletcher and Kyle Williams often put it. The Eagles come away with the rebound. Inside, Ramon Fletcher drives all the way to the basket and lays it in for two. Ramon Fletcher beginning to make a bit of a nuisance of it.
It's much better than a double-digit effort in terms of psychologically from the way the Eagles will look at it during that break.
Dirk Williams for three. No, knocks that three down. And just as the Eagles thought they were getting back in it, a fantastic three-point shot from Dirk Williams from real range, and that takes them to 79-62, 17-point lead on the night and a 12-point lead on aggregate. It's of somebody's season. Is it the last 10 minutes of Eagles or the last 10 minutes of Sharks season? And there's Kyle Williams with a very quick drive to the basket. Alexander to Brashina. Brashina thought about the three, then decided against it, but comes inside. Great determination by the Sharks there. Yeah. Here's Alexander. Kicks it out to Hanson Young to Dirk Williams. Dirk Williams fakes Fanoy, tries the three, and in it.
The quick ball movement. I was more impressed with how Sheffield wanted to beat every Eagle.
Yes, Hanson Young. Sheffield getting some great minutes from Hanson Young at the moment, although that's a bad bit. Having said that, commentator's curse. Fletcher to Defoe. Defoe lays it in for two, and I think that'll be the last we see of Hanson Young.
Situation, it's all over if they don't win this game.
McKnight gets to the basket. Experienced and good enough to know that. Here's Jeremy Smith. He's going to shoot a three, and he makes tonight 9 points on aggregate. Here's Fletcher. He's thinking about a three again. This one's short. Alexander takes the rebound. He's going to go coast to coast. Lays it off to Matthew Martin. And
decent defense. Certainly in the offense, he knows exactly what he has to do in his role.
Rob Marsden against Victor Moses. Comes out. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Rob Marsden puts up the two and makes the. Eagles not finding any answers at the moment. He has Moses. He's going to try and put the 2-point in. Yep, he makes it. Very surprised to see Moses sitting for. And he's 7-7 from the line as well. Jeremy Smith driving hard. Nice drop off to Victor Moses, who just flops it in for 2.
See, that's one thing about Jeremy Smith and Kyle Williams.
Pass from McKnight. Mosden just took a bit of a chance. He has Jeremy Smith bouncing and that's in for 2. Just give the ball to me. I want to control this. Sheffield let the clock tick down. McKnight, oh, that's why he's controlled it.
Fame for over the years is rotation on defence in situations like that, but nobody from the weak side rotated at all to help the helper.
Here at the other end, Kyle Williams this time fed McKnight, and McKnight for 2. And it's an 18-point gap, and it's 13 on aggregate. Make that 11 on aggregate as Fletcher puts in a 2. 3:16 to go.
Got to take when you're trying to knock down the clock and get a better op situation inside.
Jeremy Smith, tenacious play from Smith, in and out. 7, and all 4 of those guys are out there at the moment. Here's Fletcher, nice move, finds Moses. Moses powers to the basket. Dirk Williams moved out to the road, let him go all the way to the basket. He says, I'll let you have them 2 points, Victor Moses. Inside the last minute, and Jeremy Smith comes forward. He finds Kyle Williams. Kyle Williams can't get it inside. Jeremy Smith can for 2, but he misses that 2. And Rob Marsden takes up the rebound, but the Eagles have stole it back. And Jeremy Smith makes a 2-point shot and is fouled in doing so. To 5, here's Jeremy Smith driving forward for the Eagles. He's going to go all the way, and that shot's too strong, but he manages to get a hand on it. Fletcher for 3, hits the front of the rim. Kyle Williams takes it. Fletcher again driving in, looks for the 2, makes the 2. Sheffield call the timeout. 16.6 seconds left of somebody's season. Anyway, so it's 16.6 seconds to go. It's a Sheffield ball inside, and remember they have 4 of the best free throw shooters in the league. So Chris Alexander hold, make that. Chris Alexander makes it, but the Sheffield starting 5 has really been the difference. Here's Victor Moses, he gives it to Kyle Williams, who goes up for 3, that hits the front of the rim, doesn't make it, and the ball. And
been particularly impressed with them offensively, particularly the movement without the ball.
Yeah, and the foul there, 4 points, it's game over. And oh, he's missed a second. Maybe it was deliberate, because the Eagles have got to go all the full length of the court, and Jeremy Smith's got to shoot the 3. Didn't get the shot off, or did he get the shot off? Well, Sheffield are definitely through, that's for certain. Congratulations to them, fantastic effort by them. But I think it's the scoreboard still hasn't reflected whether or not that last 3, it doesn't matter, even if that 3 counts, Sheffield are still through. It would be by 4 points if the 3 doesn't count. It would be by a single point if the 3 does count. But it's Sheffield who go forward and took the win in Sheffield. But Dave, your thoughts?
Well, last week we had London Lions here. I thought their backcourt was absolutely terrific. Tonight we've had another absolute masterclass from the backcourt in McKnight and Chris Alexander. But the supporting cast from Sheffield has been really good as well. I mean, Dirk Williams, you know, is a threat all the time. But the guy tonight who I think's had a great game is Matthew Martin.